Okay, I'm not really sure how to start this off. I want to be able to do this to where everybody can join. I'm not sure how to do it, but if all I know how to do right now, hold on, I might be able to figure this out. Yeah, all I really know how to do right now is to have your email address and to add you on here. So if you're on Slack and you want to join in, just send me your email and I'll add you on here. I know Amanda did it to where you just have that link or share the permanent link. Oh, okay. I think I could just share the link and y'all can join in. Okay. So all right, let me just share that over in Slack real quick. And I'm going to tweet it. In just a second. All right, where'd my window go? Okay. So, okay, I know I told everybody in Slack today about, well, in the live stream that, okay, so I wasn't technically, okay, so the guy I was talking to at the bus stop, I've been talking to him about politics, and I've been trying to get his opinion on things because he's kind of like the everyman voice here in West Virginia. And, he's just like the perfect, what's it called? Just generic opinion here, like the Fox News watching type. And he called me and, oh, Dave, you're on here. Good. Awesome.
All these friggin' dialogue bubbles are popping up all over the damn place. Yeah. There's people talking.
All right, so what's going on? What's going on up in your neck of the woods?
I just got an idea for basically a video that I'm gonna do probably tomorrow, because I'm so sick and tired of these goddamn stories about the stupid football bullshit.
Oh my God, yes.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dissect the fucking national anthem and exactly what is it. If we're so freaked out about kneeling during the national anthem, let's talk about what it is. And what is it? Mm-hmm. It's a damn song celebrating us blowing the shit out of stuff. That's what it is. It's a war song.
Yeah,
I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect for us. But, I'm going to get more into it, obviously. And I found out while researching it that there were about 3 more stanzas in this thing that nobody sings. So,
yeah, wasn't there? Hold on, I think I got it open. Echo. Do you have your YouTube? Do you have your sound on your YouTube going? Oh, never mind. I'm not hearing it anymore. Okay. Yeah, I'm so sick to death of this football. I don't even want to talk about football. I don't give a shit about football. I don't give a shit. It's nothing. It's seriously nothing. It's seriously nothing. I mean, and we've already rehashed it like I don't even know how many times. I mean, like we get it. We get it.
My boss is from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to choke people out when they start talking about that shit. She's like, I don't want to hear about it. her dad, she hasn't been able to contact her dad yet because he's kind of inland anyway, or like farther away from like any phone towers anyway. So she's freaking out about him, and of course,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and nothing can really get to them yet. And the problem is no water. People are going to dehydrate to death. The bugs, with the bug, you need bug spray because people are going to get sick and diseased and all of that. The electricity in the hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
not to mention, I mean, I'm not even talking about schools and, I mean, no electric, no phone lines, no airports. You can't get anybody out of there or send supplies. The only, my boss told me that basically the only people that are allowed to actually come in are the Army Corps of Engineers, which makes sense. So,
Yeah, I feel so awful for Puerto Rico right now. I mean, if I had money, I wish I could donate to something or do something if I was close by. But I mean, it's awful because
right now, there's not much you can do. Right
yeah,
now,
yeah. I mean, we don't even really know the level of devastation considering how badly their lines of communication have been wiped out, and they haven't even had the time or the resources to really investigate to see where they need the help because I mean it's still ongoing. But I mean, what we do know, it's really bad. And the thing is like they're basically a state, and we're just saying meh at this point. I mean, um, and we're not too far off from where they are. I mean, the state that our infrastructure is in and our resources for providing help when there's a natural disaster that happens. I mean, how far off are we from where Puerto Rico is right now?
Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory.
Mhm.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not blame Puerto Rico for their poor infrastructure. I mean, they have been trying to become a state for God knows how long. So, Trump blamed the Puerto Rican people for not having good enough infrastructure and building their houses well enough. What are you supposed to do with 100 and whatever mile-an-hour winds? Whatever is going to happen is going to happen.
And why are they in that position in the first place? Why are they so devastated economically?
Yep.
I mean that was, I mean, we screwed them over big time. Big time.
But I'm getting better. I can breathe. Can you breathe?
Mostly. I don't know why, but for some reason, like every once in a while, I just getting like this like stuffy, still like coughing fits. But it comes and goes. It's better than what it was before, which was like just this constant like I want to die, just cold, feeling.
Now, listen, not for nothing. I'm going to get this out of the way. I felt kind of weird getting the link and all, like to the other chat. You know what I'm talking about? I'd like to know who's doing the chat so not to make the person uncomfortable. That's all. That's all. Because I don't want to go in there and freaking, cause a ruckus if the person doesn't want me in there. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to say about that. I hope you had a good time in that chat. I really do. But other than that,
Which chat?
the Zoom chat earlier with Kelly and James.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's all. I would prefer to know who was doing it because I thought James was doing it, and then I kind of figured it out. And it's like I don't want to go where I'm not wanted. That's all.
Yeah, usually if James is there, I know it's cool.
I know, but it's like, it's just, well, the thing is too, with Zoom, I don't know how to do it on my phone, and there wasn't a YouTube link. So if
Well,
there
it
was a,
said Zoom, but it looked exactly like Ring Central. So I'm not sure what exactly how that works or what, but it said Zoom for everything, but it looked
exactly like
exactly
Ring
like Ring
Central,
Central.
it's basically the same thing. But if I would have had a YouTube link, I might have just gone in and like done it, like chatted and said hey or whatever. But to actually try to call in, it's like, the links were weird. So, no offense to anybody, I'm just saying, I just, I'm here to talk and have fun and, you know, watch Tay Tay take his shirt off.
Yeah.
So, well, look all gothic in his friggin' picture. So, I want to see.
You there, Taylor?
He was there before, laying in bed.
He might be in chat. I haven't checked chat.
Well, they're all in Discord too. They're like branching out in all these different, chat venues.
I have no idea what Discord is. I've never heard of it before, and I think it said something about it like a video, or not video, but a voice chat thing. So
Yeah, I don't know how to, do the voice chat deal. I know Taylor was showing all his videos in there, of the protests and stuff. So, but I was also possibly going to do something about the Pledge of Allegiance too. I might leave that one for Bella since it's, since there's a lot of about, it has the stuff about God in it, and that's a big part of the whole thing. One nation under God. But I think that all that crap means absolutely nothing, really. It's just indoctrination. The stuff that really matters is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, which, in all honesty, all the politicians are basically ripping to hell anyway. So what the hell, what the hell does it matter?
which is funny because that's exactly how that dude at the bus stop led into this. Was he started talking about Colin Kaepernick, and he's like, our founding fathers set, they put out all this stuff to where, we should know what the found, what they wanted, and the gay agenda, and they're trying to take the in God we trust off our money, and they're just godless heathens where they want to make their kids gay and the frogs gay, and just like all this stupid shit. I'm
What
like,
were you? You were an abomination at some point, correct?
yes.
Were you?
Well, he said gays are an abomination, and since I'm bisexual, I'm only half of an abomination, so I'm somewhat abominable, not completely, but whatever. Close enough. Close enough. I mean, I guess that gets me into hell. I don't know.
Listen, I didn't have kids, so what the hell? Might as well go crazy.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Like, I'm sorry, but like maybe their parents shouldn't have procreated.
Listen, I'm not trying to be prejudiced or anything, but there's a thing about Asians come up to me and they're like, "Well, Dave, do you have any kids?" And I'm like, "No, no." And they're like, "Oh, what happened?" And I'm like, "Jesus Christ!" And, you know, um, no wonder China has like 3 billion people in it. So,
No, I mean that's the societal norm, right? I mean that's what's beat into your heads. I mean, like that's what you do. You grow up, you get a job, you get married, you have kids. I mean that's not even it's not questioned, right? I mean that's that's one of the main reasons why I even got married, right? Was it wasn't meant to last. But it was like, we were together for so long, and it was just like one of those things that, well, after you're together for a while, you just get married and then you have kids. That's just what you do. And I'm like, well, if I have any reservations against this, that obviously means like that's something wrong with me. I'm afraid of commitment or whatever. but that's just what you do. So I went through with it, but it wasn't a relationship that was meant to work, and it wasn't something that was meant for me. So, but you don't have to. I mean, some people are just better off and they're happier not having kids. I mean, no, not you got the Duggars out there. Okay. They're having enough kids for all of us. Okay. If you don't want to have kids, that's fine. We're going to be okay. We're going to be just fine if you don't have kids.
Well, it wasn't a matter of not wanting to have kids. Let's put it that way.
Well,
I mean, and my wife and I had the conversation where my wife told me, if you want to go out and have kids, you go find somebody. And I'm like, really? No, that's not going to happen. I'd rather have you than have kids. So, what just happened? Somebody booed.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know how to shut off all the things on Discord yet.
okay.
Hi guys, it's a fly.
Hey, glad you can make it.
I'm glad I could make it too. I love you guys. And I love everybody out in the audience.
I love you too. Love all the abominations out there.
Yeah, but it was my ex-sister-in-law, like she couldn't have kids at all. I mean, I think she only had one ovary. There were some medical problems. She couldn't have kids. So she an abomination because, she actually couldn't have kids. I mean, she adopted kids eventually, but I mean, to them, I mean, that's what I want to know. To them, those people that think that, like, is she, one of God's unwanted children because, she couldn't have kids? I mean, and whose fault is that? She couldn't help that. I mean, is that God, did God fuck up? I mean, like, what are you saying? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. The whole argument doesn't make any sense.
I know. The same thing with, any like gays, bisexual, trisexual, pansexual, potsexual, whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter to me. Sexual, asexual, I don't care. Tree sexual, whatever the hell it is, as long as you don't hurt animals or children, whatever.
Hey,
What's wrong, Taylor?
Yeah. Well, anyway, here is Fly here?
Yeah, Fly's
here.
Okay, so here, what happened to the people we were voice chatting with?
Most of them are heading over this way right now.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to call a quick meeting after this so that we can have a little discussion and not have it aired out on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I gotta set up Discord, but I've never heard of it. I don't know what it is, but I'll set it up because y'all are on there and I like talking to y'all.
All right.
Sounds good.
So this isn't YouTube?
I don't know.
Right now what we're on is Google Hangouts.
Okay, so we're not on YouTube already.
Well, we're on YouTube at the same time.
Okay, so we're on YouTube right now.
Yeah, so everybody's taking a look at you right now.
Okay, well then how are you going to do the announcements if you don't want to be on YouTube?
Oh, we're going to do that over in the Discord.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need to figure out how to get back into Discord.
We'll get you, brother. We'll get you.
Are there going to be like burnings at the stake or something? I mean,
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely a witch hunter.
Yeah, like you can do that online.
I don't know. I can be creative.
You can make a game, witch hunting like app game, and then where we could also talk doing it.
Huh. Have I seen Dax before? Hi, Dax Jacobson. Hello. Oh, a level 8 prayer? Do I need to be a level 5 Zimron and freaking whatever? What is it, Scientology?
I believe they're called something like Theons or something.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I looked at their the structure of their church.
I can't, you know, freaking Leah Remini and all those guys talking seriously about, you know, my body is a community of people that live inside my fingertip, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! All right, okay. Apparently, there is some good acid or something going on in the world of, you know, L. Ron Hubbard. So good for him.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting religion. And let's go ahead and say hi to Dax. Let's say hi to Troxney. Let's say hi to Forsaken.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't know Forsaken was here. I didn't see her. Hey.
Uh-huh. Let me see if I can get her the link real quick. I know she probably wants to come on.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to have a Forsaken one.
Great.
God.
Troxney, too, if you're interested.
I'm putting the link in right now. Anybody that wants to join in.
Yeah, I think people are having fun just doing the voice chatting on the other app.
I'm not sure. I shut that one off.
Oh, you did? Think. Oh, I guess that's the reason why I couldn't get on it. So.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you can play the audio on both at the same time. So the link's in the chat for anybody that wants to join in. Anyway, I'm sorry that I interrupted the whole thing by coming on and making a bleep bleep sound.
No, that's cool. I'm glad you're here.
I'm always glad to be with you wonderful people.
Yeah, I think I saw something in the chat earlier. Well, no, a day or two ago. It was, I think it was yesterday that Jenny Lynn said something about you were stuck in bed. So I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I had a back pain from lifting up a big plasma TV, and somebody threw or didn't throw, but dropped the TV on my shin and ended up twisting wrong.
Oh, dang. Day or two ago.
Do you have your YouTube plan?
I think it was yesterday that Jenny Lynn said something about you were stuck in bed. So I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I had a echo and a big plasma. Somebody threw or didn't throw, but dropped the TV on my chin and ended up twisting wrong.
I'm listening to both of you.
Yeah, somebody named Digital in there.
Yeah, I think he has his YouTube on. Hey, Digital. Hey, what's up?
Can we have you mute for a second?
Hello?
Digital, can we have you mute for a moment? Yeah, somebody named Digital in there. There we go. That should take care of it.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I think he has his YouTube on. Hey, Digital.
I think he's muted, but I still hear it. I don't know. I still hear my voice.
No, I just muted him.
I think Trox just came on too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not me. Is this where the party's at?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is where the party's at.
We shifted
Hey, Trox.
from like sound voice chat to video chat now.
Glad you can make it, Troxney. I haven't gotten to talk to you in forever.
Yeah, but been chatting mostly.
He's always afraid that I'm going to jump in with a Chips movie reference.
Well, hell, I'm afraid of that now too. Oh my God!
But you
Yeah,
saw
you
the
Did you hear
clip,
about
right?
Should be glad he's
Okay.
only focusing on me.
Speaking of bad television, did you hear about Tom Wopat?
No, I didn't hear anything.
He was arrested for domestic battery. So much for Dukes of Hazzard and the friggin' rebel flag.
Yeah, when all that was going on with Charlottesville and the Confederate statues and all that, one of our I think he's from the House of Delegates,
right.
Was like, oh, so I shouldn't drive my Dukes of Hazzard Confederate flag car in. I mean, just trying to poke the nest, trying to poke the hornet's nest. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even give him the time of day because he's just trying to be like, a Trump figure. Just, oh, hey, Amanda. Hey.
Hey, Amanda.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
just
Amanda.
like, I just ignore it.
And Balancer.
Is that the 65-year-old you were trying to convert?
Hey, Abomination, was that the 65-year-old you were trying to convert?
No, this is this is a different guy. I don't want to rule him out. I want to keep things civil in case, I want to be able to talk facts with him. And I was obviously emotional at that moment, so I just had to walk away. So I'll just try again tomorrow.
Yeah, anyway, at that white supremacy rally I went to, they even talked about the history of who made the Confederate flag, and I have that on video, and I'm gonna be posting that later on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like, I know a lot of people don't like the new Star Trek movies, but the very first, I think it was the very first one, where they told Spock, you can't be captain. You're emotionally compromised. You have to just walk away. That's just like the moment. Like, that's where we're at right now. Like, I just had to, like, just know enough to know I could not do it at that moment.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Forsaken.
I think maybe I might have been digital. I don't know. Then I quickly backed out. It may have been me because I have one of my accounts has digital in it, and then an email account that I use for like pay to click stuff and that. So it may have been me.
Hey, Forsaken.
Hello.
Good to hear you tonight.
Yeah, actually, I slept all night. I just woke up a little while ago. And I saw the little notification thing and I jumped in. I was trying to find the rest of the CNN healthcare debate. I watched the beginning and I said, oh, I'll watch the rest of it later because it was divided into parts. And they took it down, I guess.
Yeah, to me it's looking really bad for the Republicans since John McCain isn't gonna support them. And I think their deadline is like for the 30th of this month, and that's coming up. So, yep, I doubt it's gonna pass.
Well, I was hoping to see the rest of I don't. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. I am not awake. I am not. But I really wanted to see the rest. I watched like the first quarter yesterday, last night, something, and I don't know, at some point yesterday, and then I was just watch the rest, and you can't find it. I can't find it online.
Yeah, like at my town in New Braunfels, like a few people that I joined were doing like a Obama rally, Obamacare rally, and I had a sign that just said like support single payer health care, Medicare for all, HR 676, which and obviously that's not Obamacare. And then of course, they also had some Trump supporters. They are like saying, "Oh, bye bye Obamacare, yay!" So
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you did that, Taylor, because I mean
mhm.
that's the problem that I came across here when Bernie came here to West Virginia and did his healthcare rally. All the speakers that came on before him were very pro Obamacare, and that's a big problem because I mean people are paying way too much. We all know. I mean, it's not a system that was set up for our benefit. So, but when Bernie came on, he actually talked about single payer and actually talked about the things that would actually help us versus the Clinton machine of let's keep Obamacare coming,
Yeah.
going. So, yeah, I mean, you got to have people out there like that will bring attention to single payer because they're co-opting it and they're making it into preserve Obamacare versus. I mean, this is what the whole thing with
Right.
Trump care is just to keep people in fear of losing what little health care they have right now. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, we need people like you out there that are letting people know there are better options.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like this old woman, I mean, she had a sign that said like a support ACA, which is of course the Affordable Care Act, and then she would flip it that would say Medicare for all, and it's like, well, I mean, those are two different things.
Yeah, I see what she's saying. It's like keep what we have now in case, don't go with the Trump option. Keep what we have now because it is better than that, but ultimately go to that. But I guess that's too much for a sign.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the few things that PYT did correctly is they did a story where they basically went out and interviewed people and asked them, "Do you like the Affordable Care Act?" And many of them said, "Yes, absolutely." Then they were asked, "What about Obamacare?" And they said, "No, no, no, we want to get rid of Obamacare," not knowing that they were exactly the same thing. So my fear with the single payer that Bernie is suggesting or that he has proposed is that eventually, when it does pass, there will be so many amendments and so many changes that it really won't be single payer.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be closer towards Obamacare, and people will say that it's a victory. That's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, not only will maybe some people will claim it as victory, there's going to be other people that are going to condemn the whole idea based on the flawed thing that comes out of the.
And we're going to be right where we are. The thing that I didn't like about Obamacare is that you have people that cannot really get affordable health care right away. And then if they do not get health care, they're being penalized on top of that for not having health care, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, and I told them, I said that, the Affordable Care Act was really started by, the idea of it was really started by Richard Nixon with like the individual mandate. And then it went to like Bob Dole and to like Mitt Romney care when he was governor of Massachusetts. And then of course the Harrison Foundation, which of course is a right-wing think tank. So really, I mean, it's really an old Republican policy, and I told them about that, and some of them knew about it, and some of them said that, really what they're hoping is that Obamacare will, change into single payer health care. But I mean, it would be like impossible to like talk to say that to like the Trump supporters so that were there. If I said that, well, hey, Obamacare, the idea of it really came from a right wing old Republican policy with like Richard Nixon shifting down to like Bob Dole, Mitt Romney, you know. really, I just, I think really there's just no way. There's just, to me, I think there's no way Trump care is ever going to pass because, I mean, just Republicans, they just can't unite on that, which is great, really.
No, they can't because, I mean, there are people that are still afraid of, re-election, and they know that if they pass something like that,
Mm-hmm.
they are not going to get reelected. They
Yeah,
know
like,
that for a fact now.
Yeah, like for like the Republicans in the blue states.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because, I mean, and here's the thing. It's like, this new Bernie bill, do y'all know if dental and eyes are included in that?
In all honesty, I'm not sure, and I have to check that out. Also, mental health, because that's not a complete guarantee either.
If he is going along with the model of like the UK and all that, then yeah, it will.
See, that would be fantastic. See, I have problems with
go look
both.
in that bill.
Huh?
I'm sorry, but what I'll do is I'll go find the bill and I'll post it. I'll go in the WhiteHouse.gov, and because they post everything like that, and then I'll post it in Slack.
Oh, thank you. That'd be fantastic.
Okay.
This is Rue Rabbit. She's 17 years old.
Really? Oh, she's so cute.
I went to go toward my iPhone to kiss it. What a dork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also what's funny about those Trump supporters, they were like saying like support Trump care, like not even knowing what it really is all about because it seems like Republicans don't really want to talk about it. It's just like indefensible.
It's that identity politics that gets
I know.
I hate Hillary, so I'm gonna love everything about Trump. And then the other side goes, I hate Trump, so I'm gonna love everything about Hillary.
How much?
Well,
it kind of makes you seem like this, like just a person that can't be pleased. It's like, I don't like Hillary, I don't like Trump. It's like, well, oh, okay. Well, we can't do anything to make you happy. It's like, well, no, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same choice. It's like, somebody that's going to kill a bunch of people abroad, or somebody that's going to kill a bunch of people abroad and screw over, the people here. I mean, it's the same thing either way. So it's not that. It's just that, they're both the same choice.
I don't know how you guys feel about that decision he made, to, the economical trade stuff to stop North Korea, right? To stop junk. And I think, wow, okay, well, that's the first time I haven't heard that someone wants to go bomb that crazy guy, And so I thought, well, that's a step in the right direction as a president, right? At least he's not wanting to nuke him, And then my liberal friends were just going, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? At least he's not wanting to bomb him. I don't know. Am I crazy or what?
No, and I think it was, I'm not even part of you guys' Congress or United States or anything, but that, what you just said, redneck, about that was definitely down pat, I think. It's like, it doesn't matter who you vote in nowadays. The two politicians, they're just mega rich and they're not really in for you guys, basically.
Yeah. And it's not just our country. I mean, there's so many countries like that, that they don't.
Yep.
They don't give
Canada
a shit
too.
about people.
Canada too, man.
We were built on war. We were built on taking over countries or taking over territories, manifest destiny, the whole thing. And the whole thing, and I know Red's sick of it and everybody's sick of it with the damn national anthem. The national anthem is a celebration of war. That's what it is. And that's why Trump is getting all worked up about it, saying, all these war games. He's like John Larroquette in Stripes with his little army men, just playing army. He doesn't. They don't even care who they're fighting as long as they're fighting something and building more weapons. To be completely honest with you,
as long as we make those weapon sales,
right. All they want just make more and more and more and more, and just keep that machine going. The military-industrial complex is fucking insane.
Yep.
Right now, and I don't know, Balancer. I mean, I've been pounding this, and I got to get the damn story out. Donald Trump orchestrated the deal. What's that?
I was just going to say, if you want to change your guys' healthcare for the better, like in the end, just kill the fucking military complex, like fucking ration it down. Stop fucking going for wars and shit, like spend that money instead of warfare. Bring it to the fucking people, right? Work on the infrastructure, the medicine, anything you guys need, right? Like, same thing goes because in Canada, Trudeau's just like, yeah, we're just going to follow the plan that fucking Trump tells us to do.
If I wasn't hacking my brains out this past weekend, I would have been right there with David Swanson in D.C. They were having an anti-war thing in D.C. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. So, I mean, I'm with you. But Donald Trump orchestrates the whole deal between Saudi Arabia and the military-industrial complex, big players like Lockheed and Raytheon. Last week, he denounced his own deal. He's playing both sides. He's playing against himself, which is
yeah, I think he is kind of like that way too, especially where he like sleeps it out and says all this shit, and then like retracts and does the different.
It's wherever he thinks the advantage is for him at the moment, and wherever he can put the most in his pocket and get the most people bowing down, one or the other.
Because he wants you guys next year, next 4 years or whatever. They want him to sign him again, right? They want him in power again. They want Trump for fucking the next fucking 20 years if they can, right?
I just saw a story that they are starting the infrastructure on the wall. They're starting to plan the infrastructure on the wall. So
good. That'll do a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Hey, it'll keep the earthquakes out of Texas from Mexico.
It's like, man, I wish.
Don't you all?
Go ahead.
Don't you all just ever feel like you're insane? I feel like I'm insane sometimes.
Yes, I do. I feel like we sit around and we talk about. Okay, I mean, imagine if our government was a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Are we going to follow them around and just tell them constantly, what they're doing wrong as they're doing wrong against us? Like while they're sleeping with another person, like, are we going to follow them around? Like, you know what? You didn't take out the trash today, and that's what we're doing. We're sitting there and we're telling these politicians what they're doing. They know damn well and good what they're doing wrong. They know it. They just don't give a shit. They get paid way too much to give a shit.
So why are we constantly doing what we do?
Because that's human nature. We like to bitch. And also, we need to know what's going on because we got to make a fucking plan, man. We got to make a plan against these people.
I've been there and done that.
Well, yeah, divorce them and then leave, right?
I've been
exactly. Divorce, make the plan for escape. This is an abusive relationship. We're being abused right now. Make the plan. And even up there in Canada, I've heard stories about Justin Trudeau, and he doesn't even give a shit about what's going on in like these, chemical or Cancer Valley type places. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's continuing, with what is it, fracking and stuff up there. So
yeah, the
it's just like he's no angel. He's no angel. I know the media likes to portray him as such here, but he is not. He's not. He's not for us.
Yeah, he supports the Keystone Pipeline.
I mean,
the tar sands. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just it's bad.
Here's like the sign I had.
So what I was thinking, guys, if we can't actually like change the world for the better with the things that we're doing on YouTube and stuff, what I've been doing with a bunch of group of friends of mine too, because we've already got fed up a long time ago, like 2 years ago, we did this shit in the past. We tried to do it. Nothing really changed for us, and we went through trolls and everything and all this crazy shit, right? But after, I still have 40 friends on Google Hangouts that's not even part of any of you guys, but I talk to them quite often. And what we're trying to do nowadays is just try to work together on research and things like that, but also like we're trying to like, people are trying to like not separate from their government or anything, but like find places where they live and like have some sort of like, I don't know, work together sort of thing, like an outpost or whatever. I don't know. Unite together, have like a free trade sort of thing group together. I don't know what do you want to call it, but like a fucking community or something. We already thought about that last time too, because when we tried to take over the fucking Google Matrix and all that shit, we tried to do this shit. I've been doing this for years, right? And it really didn't really do much in the end. So I was kind of fed up, and a lot of us lost interest in that. But then we started working on things that we could do in our area and stuff. So it's kind of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's just not easy. Since we're all spread out all over the place and we don't really have like crazy, well, I don't, you know, like have crazy amounts of money. But if I was like billionaire rich, I would just make a big fucking farm or something here where I'm at, and I'd just be like, you guys come here or something, and then just work together or something. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It'd be nicer to do something like that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking that too, and I've been preaching that on my Facebook wall, and they just, you know, the liberals just cannot get it or understand it or think it's, or they think I'm crazy.
That's just like it. That's just like the aftermath shit. Like I know you guys are gonna keep on fighting, and I will keep fighting for my fucking part too. But I mean, in the end, I've been there for a couple of years now that I've done all this shit and tried to do these things, and it didn't really do anything for us. So I just said, instead of just throwing it to the bucket and getting rid of all these friends and people that I actually fucking trust and like a lot and love and want to do something with them, then we just try and find alternatives, you know what I mean? Different ways to make changes in our lives and stuff. I got friends that are in like the United States that they do other things like they're trying to get rid of the homeless people, like helping them out. So like I had a couple of buddies of mine that were like building showers and shacks and stuff for the homeless people and things like that. So I guess that's like libertarian or liberal styles, or I don't know what you want to call it, but they were trying to do that when I first met them too. So I mean,
Yeah.
we could start doing things like that.
Yeah, this is a shirt I was wearing, kind of like to show off, because like my city's like Democratic, like, you know, I guess the Comal County Democrats, which is like, I live in Comal County, we're there, and just to kind of like show them this, like, don't blame me, I voted for Revolution. Bernie Sanders face on it, were the ones that supported Hillary. And
Yep.
some of them liked it.
Well,
This is a problem I've talked to. Me and Kevin had a really long conversation about this, and he pointed out exactly, you know, and the thing is, it's like people give Kevin a lot of shit, but he knows his stuff, you know, and he's very attentive to detail. So, you know, we spent a long time talking about how to move forward, and he was talking about, you know, how to make these, you know, basically like community gardens, and how to set it up, because we can't count on our own governments to, you know, take care of people. So we have to take care of our own community. And how do we do that? How do we go forward with that? Because, you know, while we're fighting this battle of reforming the government and our election process and all these things, there are still people that fall through the gaps that we need to take care of. And things like, you know, food stamps and housing and stuff. There's so much of a process to it that a lot of people don't get to actually use those benefits, and so there's people that fall through the gaps, and we need to take care of those people while we're fighting this battle. So I mean, that's why I really like his plan of of how to do that. But the thing is you need land and you need resources, and the people that have that are the rich people that are oppressing us. So
Possibly.
difficult.
There are good people around the United States and Canada and stuff that actually want to do these things. So it's just not easy to find. Do some research, Google their, like, write that shit in Google and see if you find people like that. I got friends of mine that just moved from, like, he was in Tennessee and now he lives somewhere up north, farther up, but now he's like living off the grid sort of style. Like, he still contacts us and stuff online, but he's living in like a fucking society that's ruled like out of their law or whatever. Basically, it's just kind of like, I don't know, living off the grid, but he has internet. I don't know how to fucking say that, but
Dang.
and it's communal. Like, he just randomly stumbled across some guy at a bar and something, and he's like, hey, I need like a hand to like work on the farm and shit. So he did, and now he's living with his woman like at some weird farm place, and working together for a better cause, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, there's so many things that we can do to help each other out. There's some people that just need help with housework. There's some people that need help, maybe monetarily. There's some people that need help with, food. But, I mean, there's different things that people need help with, and there's no reason. I mean, it's just little things that, there's somebody somewhere that can help them out with that. And we just need to connect those people with those people. And it could be a mutually, beneficial relationship, because, I mean, everybody needs something and everybody has something to offer. So, even if one person, will mow your lawn, that person will come over and do your dishes. It's just something that, we can really do a lot more with this, but we just need to know who needs what and what kind of services can you offer to the other people that are helping.
Yeah, and also things I can help for you guys too is say, like, why don't we just like start posting some flyers up around your guys' area too? Just get the word out on your YouTube channels and shit, like, honestly. Or if you have friends and family members, plug that shit in. Like, I used to be a YouTube channel, but I started with scratch, and I never stopped. Like Cage Rattler show that you had the other day, like the first time I was on with you, like, you did a great job, man. And like, honestly, if you keep fucking doing that, like, daily sort of thing, and have a schedule, like, that will actually get people involved in whatever you're into. Really, it has to be kind of schedule based, though. It seems like that's how I felt with YouTube. Like, do a video or a live show like every day sort of thing, if that's what you want to do. You want to try to make these changes and stuff. Keep it on a schedule so that people tune in every time. And I can teach you how to fucking schedule up, like, Google Plus scheduling stuff, so you can schedule that event on Google Plus, and you can reach more people onto your YouTube channels when you actually go for a live show and shit. I did that fucking tutorial. I should make a new tutorial right now for that shit, but that's time consuming as well.
What I've noticed is, a lot of people in our crowd, a lot of times they just don't get the notification or whatever. We need to get that group of names together again and just start, as you said, on a schedule. Just let them know.
Yeah, I think it's more of a schedule based because some people tune in. Yeah, like a schedule base usually tunes in more often, right? Like, people get more recurring people. You get like, oh, I fucking just lost my headphones.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Graham Elwood's show, I mean, he started off with, I don't know, it was about 20 live stream viewers, but he started doing it on a regular basis, at 6 o'clock, was it p.m.
Ebon?
Pacific time. And then, he started getting more viewers. Now he's up to like 40 every time that he does a live stream. So, it definitely helps to know when the show is. And that's part of the problem that we're having, now, is that we don't have a set time. But, the thing is that we're real people with like real life situations. We have things that are happening that we have to take care of, whether it's kids or family or husbands, wives, whatever it is. We've all got something. So, we're just trying to make it here whenever we can.
Yep.
And, we're night owls.
Or you can start out, well, if we're all like that, and we are kind of like that, then why not just do live shows that are late, like what we're doing big cities, basically, because that's what we've been doing for like a little while, like on Slack chat, before we even had this sort of like hangout video to video chat, like, you know what I mean? I started with you guys, it was just like fucking, chatting it up and shit. Now you guys are doing hangouts like this. Well, and if you're gonna keep doing it like late nights or whatever, because everybody has their own jobs, we got kids, we got fucking shit to do and stuff, right? But at the end of your nights, you got nothing to do. Might as well do a live show. And then I bet you people will fucking come to that too, because that's basically what people are in nowadays. We work our asses off every fucking day, basically, to make money to live and shit. And then after that, you're like, what do I do now? You know what I mean? You guys capitalize on that shit by that. Some way to do it, anyways. I think do late nights. Start at 9 p.m. Something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, that would be good. Better than this. Like, I just think that the whole schedule thing is going to draw more people into your guys' shows and such. I've been trying to fucking, on Google Plus and shit, I've been sharing the shit out of you guys' shows and whatever shit and all the other stuff I do and look into stuff. But anyways, every time you guys do a live show, I usually plug it into Google Plus, right?
Oh, thank you. That's
every time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's what you do for your friends too. If your friends are like doing a live show, fucking share that right as soon as it's easy. Go on YouTube, hit share button, fucking go on Google Plus, go live show, check it out right now, sort of thing. Draw your friends into this shit, And maybe they might not like it. Maybe they'll fucking hate our guts, whatever. But the people that actually stay, they're the good people you want to keep, right? So
yeah,
keep going for it. I think schedule based though would be a little bit better. And late nights, because you just said everybody's fucking night owls anyways. Do night owl shows then. There's a lot of people that do fucking night out shows like I do, and I do a lot of research and documentaries and shit that I go into at night. You guys are chatting away on Slack and shit, but I'm actually like watching fucking videos like nonstop. So if you guys are doing a live show, I would be tuning into you guys' live shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, same here. It's like during the day, I'm mom, but at night, I'm Batman. Like I get to go and like fight the capitalism and corruption, and I get to watch. I mean, constantly, like you said, constantly watching videos because I'm working or doing something. So it's like I can listen, but I can't really read or whatever. So YouTube is a huge ally in this. Well, with live streaming.
And you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it every day either. But if you schedule it up like once a week or twice a week or something like that on normal days, and you make it all timed out in those days and their times and stuff, like people I think will tune into those type of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
it's just tough for me to like share a fucking live show of your guys's and share it on Google Plus and lots of people will miss that, right? They don't fucking have their Google Plus plugged into their cell phones and they don't tune into those things right away, right? Some of these guys and people that watch me or have Google Plus people watching me and they check out my shit, they'll see it like a fucking day later or something. They'll look into your guys' live shows, but it will be gone by that point in time, right? Because of it. So
what's on
it should still be there. I mean, it just wouldn't be the direct.
No, it will be there. I mean, it will be there. They'll check it out, but I mean, it's like it's not live at that point in time because they missed it, right?
And it's like 6 hours long or 5 hours long, and nobody wants to stay for that whole.
I think scheduling is a good thing, and then maybe like time restraints. I used to do like 8-hour live shows and shit, but that's like fucking way too time consuming for all of you guys. depending on what you can do. I don't know. It all depends, man. Or you can just go and do your own live channels and just keep fucking plugging away every day, sort of thing, and try to raise awareness for all of us. I don't know. There's ways to do these things too.
And that's a good
Lots of
point
different
too,
ways.
because not a whole lot of people want to sit there and watch. I mean, they see 8 hours and they're like, okay, never mind. I wish we had like a group of people that we could that watch the shows that we do, and would maybe say like, oh, from this time to this time is a good segment for, because usually if it's under 8 minutes, people will watch it on YouTube. So if anybody wants to do that, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But,
See, like Tim, yeah. See, Tim Black does that, where it's like at first it's like a long live show, and then after the live show, he breaks it up to like certain sections.
Yeah,
like what topics we talked about.
That's exactly what we need. But I mean, I don't pay attention. Like while I'm doing the show, it's like I don't know. I don't know when to do it while I'm watching it. But if anybody else says like when to break it up, but I don't have a problem with editing the videos myself and doing that kind of work. I'll do it, but I just don't know when to do the editing, and I don't have the time to sit there and watch another 8 hours of the stuff I've already said.
Yep, been there. I used to put in timestamps and shit in my like 8-hour videos so that people could actually just go down to the chat and they would see the timestamp. They click on it, it would pop up right where they want to watch those things, or like intriguing stuff that I actually had like good important information. You know what I mean? So I put those timestamps in there so that people just go down the chat and they hit that and then they find that. You know what I mean? But it is time consuming too. I understand what you guys are saying. We're always being crushed by the time.
Yeah,
like
that's
that video. Yeah, like that video editor is time consuming.
I'm like I pour through what I am saying, and I pay attention to my mannerisms and the amount of you knows I say and ums I say and all of that, so that when I do get interviewed by Grandma Elwood, which will happen next month, and when I do interview politicians eventually, maybe some of those habits will go away, or maybe I'll diminish them a little bit. Most of it, I don't think any of us are professional YouTubers by any stretch of the imagination.
But I've been there and I've done that. I used to have 315 or 335 subscribers, something like that, before I closed my channel account. I mean, I'm pretty knowledgeable about how it runs and stuff. My Google Plus account before I closed that one had like 1,000 people on that one.
Right.
So I was able to draw people around.
I don't have 100 yet, but I've only been doing it for a couple of months.
But also another thing that I found out when I was just in this live chat with me and you guys right now, I just clicked on all of you guys' little pictures, portraits. If you click on that portrait, it goes mute, ignore profile. If you click on their profile, you can add them on their Google Plus page too. So I added each one of you guys that way.
Okay, here
so
I want to do the
connect it to you that way.
Okay, so
it's a way to get a hold of all these people that you talk to on the live chat. It's just go with your mouse button. If you look at the people that you're on right now, just click on them, the picture. It will pop up. By left clicking on their picture, it will pop up. It will say mute, ignore profile. Click on that profile. It will load their Google Plus page, and then at the bottom right of their profile, it will say follow. Hit follow on that button, man.
Okay, well,
you guys get all of us in touch.
Just I'm on my iPhone right now, though, so
no worries. You can do it in the future. I mean,
okay,
the next offline show or a live show that we're together or whatever, just do what you're doing on your computer, and no worries. That's how you just get a hold of everybody. That's what I just did when I was in here just a couple of minutes ago.
Wow, you are a well full of information.
I did a lot of this shit, man. I think I'm gonna make the fucking goddamn, excuse my language, but I should probably make the tutorial to show you guys how to set up the live shows, but then also you can incorporate your live shows with the Hangouts, but also with Google Plus by scheduling it in there. And if you schedule it in there, then you'll find more people actually go to your live shows that way because you have an event set up. People will come to that. They'll be able to share that event on Google Plus and other fucking social media sites too.
Is that
Just ways to
the
increase your
creator?
audience.
Is that
No,
different
I'll show you
from
guys how to do it.
Okay.
It's just kind of a
Thank
little
you.
bit tough to figure that out. So I'll do a tutorial on it. It took me some time to figure that shit out too, because when I was doing the tutorials too, it showed like a black screen when I was actually making that. But nowadays I have OBS. Since I have OBS, I can probably make that and you'll be able to see everything. So it should work a little bit better than before. My live, because I made tutorials on that too with my old account, Giggity Goop, and I made that shit, and I actually made other people to do these things too. Like they started making their own live shows. They started tuning into my shit, you know, incorporate and work together sort of thing. That's what I was doing like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I want to do too. Kind of like have my own little, like progressive, like independent news media show.
Yeah,
my YouTube channel.
And just following, like having you guys being here, like as long as you follow on Google Plus and shit, like you'll see other people like you guys, your guys' live shows and stuff. Everything that you share online and on Google Plus and stuff, you'll be able to see their feeds and shit. Sometimes there's so many people, if you follow too many of them, then it might get a little bit hectic, but it's better than nothing, right? You know?
Yeah.
It's just ways that I can help you guys with, because I've been there and I've done with this shit.
Wow, that's amazing.
I had like YouTubers that wanted me to like sign up for their elite organization sort of thing for money and views and shit, and I just said fuck this shit. And I'm not like a sellout type of person, so I just said no, that's not my way. So I did my own thing. That's what I did. You guys have your choice in what you want to do with money and everything else, but for me, it's like I don't really care about money. I just want to make change for us in the future. But we need money somehow. We need money somehow for like if we're actually gonna make a political party like the internet party sort of thing, which I'm really in on that shit. Then you need some money to do it, right?
It's like I gotta pay my bills, but you know, my main goal is, I mean, I don't give a shit about money as far as that goes. You know, as long as my kids are taken care of, that's cool. Yeah. But you know, the main thing, the reason I even started this had nothing to do with money. It had everything to do with making the change. Because if you make the change, you don't have to worry about the money, right? I mean, if you make the right changes, if we succeed in our goals, you know, that's enough. That's enough for me. You know, if we get single payer, if we can, you know, get unions and get workers' rights and get these things that, you know, society needs, you know, all over the world, you know, what's money compared to that, you know?
Yep. No, that's why I started doing my shit too.
Unions are on their heels right now. So
but you guys have to be careful too. When I was doing my live shows and I started getting quite a bit of like people coming in and trolls and shit like that, at least you guys know how to deal with that shit already. Like you guys usually have moderators in your chat rooms and stuff, like your friends like us will be in there to moderate these things. Like that's a good thing, because honestly when I first started I had 0 fucking moderators, and like I have trads, like I have trolls, and I open my live chats for everybody too. So I put the fucking Google Hangout link in my goddamn description of my video box, which would draw more people into these things so they could talk about whatever they wanted to do, but also it was not fucking like kosher all the time. Like I had people like freaking out on my live shows that were just ape shit nuts, man. And you got to kind of deal with these things, but it looks the way you guys are setting everything up the right way anyways, so good on you on that. And you have people on your back. You have fucking good moderators that will actually fucking there for you and shit, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, we've been there with Ring Central before, you know, or just the crazies and the trolls will come in and just say whatever, so Yeah, but you know, I kind of prefer that over the have it cut off because I'd rather, you know, kick out a few trolls than to cut somebody's speech off. Forsaken, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, yeah, we had trolls pop in once in a while over on Iban's, and they usually didn't stay long because nobody started arguing with them. Everybody just kind of laughed, and I.
Yep, that's what I did. I brushed them off. That's why they didn't really come back and fucking feed on me. Because when you fucking actually like talk with them and start fucking commenting on their shit in the live chats and shit, even if you get rid of them or whatever, you just don't comment about them. You know, you don't fucking say you're a fucking asshole or something.
Yeah,
like
because that's
because I'm
trolls.
doing a live fucking show, and if I
Yeah.
actually pay attention to these trolls and say, "Hey, motherfucker," and shit, then that's just gonna fuck your whole live show up, right?
Yeah, that's
And
called,
everybody doesn't want to see that. They just
Yeah,
want to hear what you're trying to say, trying to speak out about the shit, but they don't want to be hearing you talk about these trolls and these assholes on the internet, right? You don't
It's
want to
going
hear
to
about that shit.
quadruple the amount of trolls too.
Yeah, and it's definitely getting worse. It's
yeah,
not getting better.
Yeah,
Speaking
that's called feeding the trolls.
There's a troll
Speaking of
network nowadays. Big one.
Speaking of trolls, Redneck, do you think you can make Jenny a mod?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sure thing.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So can you Americans hear that Tyler is Canadian?
What trucks?
Can you hear that Tyler is a Canadian, like on his dialect, or is
Hey,
that?
Dave, are you okay?
A boot.
God.
Yeah, I'm
I
kidding,
was able to notice.
And like, I'm not like, I don't know. I would tell you about my past, what I've gone through, but I don't really want to tell you guys about my shit. I've never really told anybody about my shit. I actually thought about writing a fucking book about my life and shit, so to inspire other people for the better, but I still haven't done it. Thinking about it. But
I don't know. Don't rule it out, man. I mean, I
No.
think everybody's got something that they. I'm sure
Let's-
that would be.
Let's just say that in 2012 I couldn't talk.
Oh wow.
And nowadays, I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Hell yeah, man.
It was a crazy time in my life, but overcame it, and then after that, instead of just like being like down and out about things, about life and everything, I was like, well, let's make changes for our world for the better, and that's basically what I've been doing since then. So it's been a long ride for the last 2 years, 3 years now, but yeah, just keep on plugging away, guys. I mean, I brought my accounts down and stuff like that with lots of subscribers and shit because I don't really care about money and stuff, and I was ready to just give up on fucking everything, and then I met you guys in Slack chat, and you guys invited me in there and started talking with you guys and the internet party and all these other people and stuff too, and you know, that's what I'm here for. I'm just here for trying to make the change for the better, and it seems like that's what you guys are trying to do. Seems like good peeps.
Yeah,
So I will try and help you guys whatever I can.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take off. I'm getting really tired.
All right, man. Get some sleep.
Yeah, and I guess you'll Fly. You'll just have to tell me what the announcements were later.
Sounds good.
All
I'll
right.
talk to you later, Taylor.
Bye.
Love you, brother. You have a
Love
good
you
night.
too. Good night.
Night, man.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Yeah, so there's ways to, I don't know, figure all this shit out. Work together. That's the best thing I can think of for you guys. Is like make sure you're following each other on Google Plus and all these other fucking different accounts, and you know the way the internet works out. We got new fucking things like Discord. We got Snack Chat and all these things like that. Make sure you fucking add all these people, because like these are the people that back you up in the future. If you guys do go big with fucking like thousands of fucking viewers every night and shit like that, you're gonna definitely want you guys, you know,
Well, you definitely want like a little core group of guys where you want you want that base of people that trust each other, that have each other's back, and
and be careful with the people that you might trust, and all of a sudden they start infighting and shit, because that might fucking stir up the whole drama storm. And that happened to me, man. I lost friends, a lot of them and shit, because of what the fuck I had to go through and stuff. And it was all just little drama shit. Like, they don't want to work, like they really want to work together, but they don't like that other person. You know, they don't like this person.
There's a lot of rage quitting going on right now.
Yeah, they don't like their view. They don't like their views or their thoughts and such like that. Like, that's what happens. So just be careful, and then you'll figure out who you trust in the end, because you'll see it, right? You'll see the fucking division and conquer tactics of some people that just don't give a fuck anymore.
Oh, I say prayer.
And that's the biggest thing right now is, like, just support each other and support the ideas, because a share, for me, a share goes a lot longer, goes farther, in the way of, my goals than donating $5. Although I appreciate the $5, is like, it's about the ideas, and I want to reach more people with the ideas. So a share is way, way more important than anything else.
Like, I used to have an account that had a whole bunch of these fucking, like, thousands of people on Google Plus. I wish I didn't bring it down, but it's gone. I'm not bringing it back. But I got this account, and I got like 100 and something Google Plus followers on mine already. So every time that you guys are making a live video or something, I'm sharing that, like, as soon as I can, right? If I see it, I'm there, I'll plug it in, and I'll give some sort of views or something like that, right? I try.
What about these services where you pay like $5 and you send your video to a database, and they send that video, or they share it with supposedly 100,000 people?
We gotta work with nothing, basically. I'm thinking, guys.
100,000 Chinese men, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can do it with YouTube too. You can actually get more views on YouTube by spending money onto it. But like, when you're broke like me, when I first started, and like I am right now, like, I'm not going to be spending fucking money on that shit when I got to pay for other shit, right? So, you know what I mean? It's tough for us. It's tough for all of us, really. I think the way our society is running and the way it is, like, we don't get like a guaranteed income for us to just sit on fucking YouTube all the time. And if we were, then we would actually be trying to make fucking changes.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the problem I'm having right now, is like, I don't want big expensive yachts or a gigantic house. I just want to pay my utilities, like, that's it. I just want to pay my utilities and talk shit about the government online, like, I just want to help people. And that's the problem I'm having with capitalism right now, is the fact that, there's no market for helping people. There's no jobs for helping. I mean, there are some. I mean, if you want to be a doctor or nurse, which is why, I went to nursing school in the first place. But, it has to be a very specific, safe to the government field to make money off of. You can't just make money off of telling people the truth.
What's wrong with you? You're un-American. Don't like.
I know. I am comrade.
You're an abomination.
Well, there's some of my friends too who were really good people who loved my guts and wanted to share everything with me, and they would bring more viewers and such like that. But then all this crazy drama shit happened with me on my YouTube channel and stuff. And then after that, it was like these friends that I really loved and trusted, they were just like, fuck the world, fuck the government, fuck everything. I'm not going to help anybody out anymore, and we're just going to go do our own thing. Like, right. I have a lot of people that did that too, so you got to think about it that way. And
that's unfortunate, man.
It is unfortunate, but I've seen a lot of it. So all these things I'm telling you about, these are all my past experiences on YouTube already.
Well, it's good that we have you here, because I mean, you've been there, you've done that, you know what works and what doesn't.
And I'm not like no, but like I never edited my videos or anything really either, because I fucking hate going through, and I don't have the time to go through an 8-hour fucking video to go through that shit, right? I'm not being paid to do these things. I didn't draw enough fucking viewers or whatever off the start to get thousands of views, and when you start reeling in, then I guess you get paid for that shit. But my shit was just fucking broke ass. But I reached like 330 people with fucking being a broke ass motherfucker. And my first Google live shows were like me by myself trying to figure this shit out by myself too. So no training, no nothing. So I mean, you have fucking friends around here that know how to do these things. So if you ever need to, you could just Google Hangout me, give me a call, whatever. You know, I'm here. I'm here.
But that's what's so fantastic about it, is the fact that, I mean, you're just like, well, it's just 330 people, but that's 330 people that are telling 330 people, 300 other people. So, I mean, it's still, it's a domino or a snowball effect. So, I mean, it matters. It does.
I think it's just because what I said was just true. All the shit I did. And it wasn't for viewers or money. It was just because we need to do something about this shit, guys. When you see that like all of BC is on fire and everywhere else in the world in the summer is on fire, and it's like, holy fuck, and then all of a sudden 3 fucking hurricane hits fucking, it's like, I don't even know, it's biblical almost. And I'm like, damn, we gotta do something. I'm thinking.
Wasn't there was a fucking earthquake in New Zealand, I think. Or Papua New Guinea or something. There was an actual earthquake over there. I'm like, Jesus, if there's an earthquake over there, and Puerto Rico is gone for now. Puerto Rico is decimated. And that's going to take, years. So you're absolutely right. That's something.
I know, because I do a lot of reading. I've read too much. Maybe I know too much, I guess. It's how I feel about all this shit. It's like, damn, maybe I should just go kill myself or something, because I just know too much shit. They just want to get me fucking buried in the first place.
Oh my God, you sound like me.
I know.
But maybe we're all the, dude, I just talked to my family today. I told them about some of my fucking crazy tinfoil shit, conspiracies and stuff, and they just look like I was like, I'm nothing to them, or you're crazy as shit sort of look at me. And I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, it's my blood, and they just look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Oh, that's the thing. People don't want to talk about anything important any longer. It's just, that impacts the world on a large scale.
Yep.
I mean, if you notice the stuff that's rude to talk about, religion and politics, stuff like that, that's the stuff that we should be talking about. That's the stuff that's important, that matters, I mean, like, we need to have discussions about that. But according to society's rules, it's rude.
There's a lot of media nowadays that, like, mass media and news and, watching TV nonstop and shit, like, that's mind control for us. And if you don't escape from that, then you're still plugged into that mind control matrix, I think. Like, the shit has been there for ever since the television was created, and nowadays we just follow into a lot of the shit.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that guy that was a jackass at the bus stop, I mean, he's smart. That's the thing. That's what kills me, like, he is a fucking intelligent human being, and he regurgitates all this Fox News propaganda. I mean, the guy's smart. It's just, I don't know what it is, whether he's in a place in his life where he needs to feel better, or if it's just easier to believe this stuff. But,
it's really hard to perceive people. It's hard to trust. It's hard to fucking, like, you see all this information. It's almost like information overload, and you're just like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, and I think that's
really,
part of it. They try to put out this narrative where, you don't know what to believe. And that's what they're going with now. Is like, they want to keep you confused. I mean, look at Doctor Strange, like that movie. It's like, reality is can be manipulated. It's whatever you want it to be. You can change it and just show, whatever it is that you want to do, and you can change your reality, and that's what we're living in. I mean, that's what mainstream media does, is they change that reality. And that's why I refuse to believe that, the majority of Americans are just stupid, ignorant, assholes. I don't think that if they knew that they had a choice, if they had power, if they knew they had power to change their situation, they wouldn't believe half of this shit.
Hollywood.
Oh yeah, definitely Hollywood.
Hollywood controls us, y'all. We loved our movies. I fucking love movies, but there is some fucking crazy cool shit in movies that they'll put out there sometimes, and you'll find some weird shit, and you'll be like, what the fuck? And it's been there for a while. I mean, go watch fucking Back to the Future 2 or whatever. Or, yeah, it's the first one, I think. Yeah, and you'll see, like, the 9/11 Twin Towers in the background and shit. And that shit's been... That video was fucking, like, 1989 or something like that.
Wow, I've never watched the Back to the Future movies. I need to now.
I got a lot of, like, smart, like, researcher type friends. One of them is a girl that just, like, goes through movies and a whole bunch of other stuff, and she showed me some crazy stuff, man. You can actually do a Google search on 9/11, and then put in there Back to the Future. Do that search right now, a Google search for images, and you'll just be like mind blown. Crazy shit. That's Hollywood for you, right? And that shit is like basically mind control, right? Or people that are awake to things that are, I guess, more spiritual, or I don't know how to call it. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. It's hard to explain. I've looked into these things in the past, though. It's crazy. The media, there's six real big ass corporations that control all our media across the whole world. So when you start thinking about that shit, who controls these things and what they do and such like that, and who are the people that run these things? 9/11 attacks. I go back to 9/11 all the time, but I go back farther into like JFK assassination and such like that too. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint exactly where it started, because, I mean, if you keep following the corruption, I mean, you can go back centuries, I mean, just here in America, I mean, we never, ever had a fair voting, we never had a fair election. I mean, it used to be, white wealthy landowners, and it was just, landowners, just white people, and then, it just, go through the whole thing. I mean, it's never been fair. And I don't think any country has ever, I mean, because it's always powerful versus, the not powerful. So, I mean, it's very, the odds have always been stacked against us, and it's time we fight back.
I do think it's interesting that, it's liberty and justice for all, and basically it was liberty and justice for all white men. And I'm surprised that they didn't say it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not down with the whole racism shit and stuff. I think, like, if you look into these things, like, whatever you look like in your color, and I think it even goes farther than the race. I think it goes into like religions and politics and everything like that too. I think it's like, once you fucking go over top of the skin color and stuff, underneath their skin color, underneath them, it's all the same. We're all the same fucking people, man. You know what I mean?
That's something my grandma used to say all the time. You turn the lights off, we're all the same color, I mean, you don't know. I mean, there are people.
That's how I think the governments. That's why I think the governments and the people are like controlled from all divide and conquer tactics on YouTube and everywhere else, on MSN, on everywhere. Like fucking social media, everything is always like that. You know what I mean? Like they won't unite on these things. Like that's just my partake on it all. Like, because I see it everywhere. I see people that are like, they seem like they're actually trying to change the world for the better, but they're like fucking Nazis and shit. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? You can't do like that. You know, you can't fucking, like, some of the things you're doing seems like a good fucking thing, but you can't just hate on people with their race and religion and shit like that. You can't do that to people, man. We have to unite somehow that way, and we're all fucking connected together, but people don't fucking even see that. They can't feel that because they're so fucking tuned into like the TV set and the propaganda, the bullshit. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel sometimes.
It's so true because I mean, there's so many good people here in just my state, you know, and they're very good people. They would help anybody that they would find in need, but they still regurgitate the stuff that they see in the news. And I'm just like, this doesn't go against your core values. I mean, you got to think about what are your core values and does this match up with it? I mean, they're like, I'm a good Christian. I love Jesus, and Jesus wanted to help the poor, and Jesus wanted to help the sick. And it's just like, well, what are you doing, buddy? I mean, you're fighting against everything. I mean, you're hating people because of their race or religion, and why? I mean, that goes against your utmost core values of their very core value is I'm a Christian and I believe in Christian values, and they believe, you know, what Jesus said was the truth. Then follow that, man. Then follow that. You're not following it. You're not sticking by. I mean, it's just, but, and that's why they're so angry is they have all this anger and they don't know who to point it towards. And the mainstream media goes along and they tell them it's the Mexicans, it's the other, it's the Muslims, it's the government. And it's not the government necessarily, it's the politicians and the corporations, you know. I mean, it's just all these things that, it's the powerful manipulating the weak. I mean, we're sitting here, we're pissed off at people that have no money, no jobs, no future, no education. And why? Why are we pissed off at them? They don't have any power to change their situation. Why don't we get pissed off at the people that can, like the people that are in office, you know?
Yep.
We're pissed off at all of them because they have a different concept than what we have, a different ideology. This has been going on for a very, very long time.
Yep.
When you have people that say this is the way it should be done and this is the way it should be done, it is a divide and conquer tactic. It's exactly like taught in all the war schools, all the military schools of the planet.
Thank you.
And as long as you keep everybody divided and fighting each other, then they don't have to even lift a finger because you're the one fighting the wars for them. They've always been on both sides of every single war in history. Every war in history, they've been on both sides, manipulating the whole thing. People fighting for kings, people fighting for politicians, people fighting for any and every possible reason. The people are not the problem. The problem is higher up. And if we ever do unite, if we ever do get past all of these different dividing tactics of dividing on race, dividing on ideology, dividing on every possible scenario you can possibly divide on, that's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of you fighting against each other. They're afraid of you uniting against them.
Yep.
The problem is
Dividing.
we have to first take care of ourselves, have the energy to be focused, then find the people that, you know, have a common goal that we do, and then go after it. The thing that the people you're talking about, Fly, that they have as an advantage is they're cold, they're calculating, and they have their purpose. They're basically the Borg. They don't give a shit. They just plow through and do whatever they have to do to make their money and build their power structure. We worry about, you know, oh, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And then we get fed our own insecurities by these scumbags. Stevie, you really need to fix your hair a little bit, and maybe you could take a little off your nose. And Dave, you really need to shave. And what the hell are you wearing? And, oh, your ass is too flat. Bullshit. So
Leave my ass out.
instead of us, oh, well, I don't like her. I don't like her. She, what about her skin tone? And in the name of God, and I told you, Stevie, I did go out with a black girl. What the fuck with the black people in their hair? Seriously. I don't get it.
Dude, that is a good point, because here's the thing. I grew up poor, and I went to a school that was outside of my community. There was a lot of black people there. And when I was growing up, I was so fucking jealous of black people in their hair, because they could have braids. They could get extensions. I mean, like, if you think about it, they can do way more than what I can't have an afro. Look at this shit. I can't have an afro. I can't do what they do. I mean, I'd look ridiculous. I mean, they can pull it off and they can do it. And that's the thing, like, they like, I hear that a lot, like, oh, they want white people hair. It's like, no, you don't. Like, you can do so much more with your hair than what I can.
Oh, come on. I got the most
Give you $10 more to your
curly
Patreon.
hair, and I am so tired of it.
Hell, I'll do an afro for freaking $20 in my Patreon. How's that?
The thing I will never understand is
Dave?
why do people inject stuff in their butt to make it bigger? Like, what the hell?
No, it just eats more, man. Do some workouts, There you go. There's your fat ass.
I have to say, listen. Yeah.
Dave.
Just go eat 20 pizzas and 20 ice creams. You're good.
Dave, I will trade
Yes?
you hair any day.
Yes.
You can have my curly hair.
I have to find the picture. I had a perm in the 80s. I did have a perm in the 80s, and I'll try to find that fucking picture.
Did you like it?
In the 80s, maybe, and girls kind of were like, "Ooh, you're cute," or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, she's digging it. My thing is, the one thing that I want to get rid of, these man boobs. Yeah, I had a doctor.
I'll take them.
I had a doctor feel me up one time. I think I got a free doctor's exam.
I'm trying to imagine the perm, Dave, and I just really can't. Oh my God, it's so great. You got
to see that picture somewhere.
I'll tell you what, if you show your perm picture, I'll show mine. It was a train wreck, man. It was a bowl cut with a perm, man. It was not good.
It was kind of like one of those square friggin' mullet weird fucking things.
I was imagining a mullet. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Please show the picture, please. It would make me so happy.
I would love to have straight hair.
Screen share.
Honestly, I have to find it.
I think it's that little green arrow on the left there. Do you have naturally curly hair, or is that a perm, Amanda?
This is my natural shit.
Yeah, mine's not very curly, but I try to straighten it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty though. I mean, you look good with it.
Thank you, but that's all it does. I mean, it's not, like your hair. I look at it and then I go, God, I could do so much.
It's good for Princess Leia buns. That's about it.
I guess the grass is always greener on the other side, right?
Yeah, and I look at yours and I'm like, oh, that would be so good to not have such, like, all this on me when I'm trying to work. So, yeah, grass is greener, man.
Oh, we're so horrible on ourselves, aren't we?
Oh, I know.
Well, I think y'all are beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, we just got to keep working together, basically. That's the only thing I can really think of for us to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to do live shows and stuff, bring it up to us, like in big chats, like we're doing right now. just bring it up. Be like, hey, you want to do a live shoot tomorrow or something, and schedule this shit and get your friends in here and just keep doing the thing you guys are doing. I don't know what else to do. I gotta make my fucking damn tutorial to show you guys because it will help you guys get more views by scheduling these YouTube shows with Google Plus. Because if you get that down pat, then it's like you should draw more fucking people into this shit.
Hey, why
God,
why
that
is
would be
my
so
thing in the
nice.
middle there?
Hey,
And why is my avatar in the middle of whoever's doing this screen sharing thing?
oh, that's me. I think I was screen sharing. Gotta stop screen sharing. I was gonna show you guys something. Holy what the fuck.
Why does it do
I mean,
that?
I wasn't speaking, so I don't know why my avatar was.
Well, sometimes when you're not speaking, it does show up, and
I don't know.
I
All
wonder
mine
why
are
that
in there.
too.
I think sometimes it picks up on background sound. I don't know. My computer's kind of loud, so it'll do that to me too.
I just fucking ended the screen sharing, so it should have even been on there. So I don't know why.
No,
I'll be right back though.
You just hit it.
Somebody's desktop is as icon happy as mine.
Well, mine doesn't usually show like that, so it's fucked up. You are screen sharing. Well, how do I get rid of you guys, bastards?
I don't
think
think
it's
they
little
have
green.
very good screen shave.
I
I
did.
think it's a little green arrow on the left.
Ah, there you go. Good. Damn it.
Boy, Sly, what would we do without your brains?
Sorry, it's fucking
No, what I
everybody's
was,
up.
Oh, Blake's here. I didn't see you come in. Hey, Blake.
Hey,
And
Blakey.
Jenny for being here and hanging out with us. Thank you, guys.
Hey, what happened to Tay? I don't see him.
he went to sleep. He said he was tired.
Oh.
He had that baby oil overdose.
Maybe he had to go do something.
Oh, shut up.
Did he run out of baby oil?
Oh, shut up, Vega.
Shit.
We're gonna have to bring up Jergens next time.
Shut up, Fly.
Oh, shit's funny.
Oh, you love me, you know it.
Yes, I do.
I love all of you too. You guys are wonderful.
You know,
Yeah, man, brainstorm and do like offline hangouts like this, just so you guys can brainstorm these shows, whatever you want to pull down, like what you did at the start earlier today was good. You guys invited us into Google Hangout land where we're not actually live at this point in time. Are we?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Or holy shit, I didn't even know that. So yeah.
Say hello to the CIA.
Well, I think you should. I think we should have like shorter conversations as well, and like you have one topic that you discuss.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Trox.
Easier to share.
Blake, hey!
Hey, Blake.
I didn't even know this was live. But whatever.
See the little live thing at the top right?
I just seen it, dude.
Sort of like a town hall.
I should have seen it a long time ago. Like, fuck my life.
well,
right?
baby, it can't be recorded because we're doing it.
I don't really care. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I know it.
Okay, I want to go back to what I was going to say before, but then I got on to hair. So what I was going to say in response to what Fly said is ideology is the thing where the real divide lies. You can't say don't divide over ideology because that's kind of the whole point, that people are coming from a totally different place. You can't divide over the minor issues. You can't divide over the superficial issues, you know, race, gender, sexuality, and all that. But what, Tyler?
Nothing. That's not that. That's not what you're saying. I'm sorry. Just shut up.
But when, you know, and then the little things like so and so said such today, you know, on the news or whatever. Those are the distractions, the little things. But the issues are where the real divides lie. And, I mean, like, you can't say, well, let's all come together on, I don't know, say gay rights, when you can't come together with people who are saying, I wish all gays were dead, and if it was up to us, we'd go kill them. You can't come together with people on that ideology. So
I'll tell you.
ideology is the actual divide.
I'll tell you where you might want to rethink that. Does anybody think that either party is really taking care of them, taking care of their needs, doing what they want accomplished?
I'm not talking about parties, though. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm
this
talking
is what
about people in general. You can't come together on an issue when somebody holds a totally opposing view. I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about the parties. The two
The
parties.
social part of it.
That's a whole different thing. But I'm talking bringing people together. If you can't get people, if you have people that are being just totally hateful on a certain issue or totally negative, there is no coming together on that. That is the actual opposition.
These have to be fact-based, reality-based people. I mean, no matter what your opinion is, we can have a difference of opinion when it comes to how to move forward or whatever like that. But if you can't base your opinion on facts and stuff, if you're basing but the thing is that there are some people that base their opinions and stuff on, what they think is true based on what they see in the news. And then there's other people that want to believe that, no matter what, even if you give them the facts that are actually, out there in the reality of it. That's what I'm coming up against with this guy at the bus stop. He's a smart dude. It's just, it's easier for him to keep believing what he's believing, that, bullshit, basically.
That's why I think you should focus on economic reform instead of social. Like, just put the social on hold.
Yeah, that's why I made my name Redneck Economics, is because, it's economics. That's the thing that affects everybody across the board. It doesn't matter who you are. Money's important. You need that money. There's some people that can go off the grid or whatever, but for most of us, we rely on money to function in society. So, that's the bottom line for most of us. And if you want to get through to those people, talk about the money.
Yep.
But even on economic issues, say on single payer or on, with the Republicans and on the right, and they have their followers believing it's all about tax cuts, tax cut. Cut the taxes, everything will be fine. And that's exactly, to many of us, that's exactly the opposite of what the actual problem is. So that's another place where, we can't come together on that because we're seeing it differently. You can try to convince. That's, one thing, but, there's not a place where we can say, okay, we'll go along with your tax cut thing, when tax cut is not what we need. What we need are taxing upper brackets to support programs that'll help everyone, or so. Even on economic issues, again, it comes down to, their beliefs, their ideology. That is the point where, two things clash.
Yeah,
real,
and that's
instead of distraction.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I'm really looking forward to this interview with this candidate, Elliot Pritt, tonight, because, he's with us socially, all these different issues, he's with us. But when it comes to incentivizing businesses to come to West Virginia, he wants to do it through tax cuts. And that is a huge no-no for me. It's like, what are you going to tax? What are you going to cut? They're already paid next to nothing. So, there's better ways. I think we should, raise the minimum wage and, do other things like, create more opportunities. But, he wants to go straight to the tax cuts, which is what we've been doing for years, and it's not been working. So I want to know, how the hell are you going to make it work when they didn't,
I know, because for people on minimum wage, you're getting what, an extra 50 cents a week from the tax cut, but at the top, they're making millions on a tax cut. So
the fact is, businesses go where there's money. That's what Graham was saying in one of his live streams, that, he'd go out and do these shows in different places, but, there's no market for it. Well, if there's a market, where there's people with money, Yeah, you sure as shit is going to believe it. You know, these businesses are going to show up. So if people had money here, they'd show up. And that's part of, you know, raise minimum wage, create some more businesses, create some more jobs. I mean, because right now we have almost a 50% unemployment rate. I mean, effectively, I mean, there's 50% of the people at work. There's like a quarter of the people that are on like retirement, disability, and stuff, and then there's 25% that's, you know, unemployed. So if you 25% of the people, you get a bump in, you know, in that, and then you get a bump in the pay. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more opportunities out here. But you know, tax cuts alone aren't going to do it because they're just going to sit on that fucking money.
Well, Stevie, aren't the two richest people in the state, Jim Justice and Joe Manchin?
Oh yeah, they just so happen to be politicians that make decisions about the taxes, and you know, what a coincidence. You know, and this is what I pointed out the other day on one of the live streams. You know, it's 1% of Americans here that are like millionaires, but it's over 50% of our Congress. You tell me that's not a representation. That doesn't represent me. They don't know shit about what's important to me. They don't care at all. Or, you know, most of the people.
Well, rich people are rich for a reason too. They don't give a shit about other people. They care about making their money. Rich people, you know, typically that I see, they hoard their money. They don't give it out to people generally, unless they are getting tax breaks, which is what the Koch brothers became infamous for, using philanthropy to get away with not paying taxes.
Philanthropy wouldn't be necessary if they did the, you know, if they treated us right and we had our fair share.
Correct.
You know, and that's, I saw a quote on Reddit today, it was like get motivated or something, but Irwin's bothering me again. But, you know, it said, you know, take, you know, have you ever had somebody in your life that you love more than anything, you know, that you do anything for? And it said, take that person and make it yourself. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it. Because, you know, I've been there. You know, I do anything for my kids. I love them more than anything. And if I felt like that about myself, I wouldn't give a shit what happened to them. I wouldn't care. You know, I'm just like, okay, well, go starve in a corner somewhere while I'll go out and, you know, party and make money. You know, it's, you know, that's what these rich people are doing. They love themselves that much, you know, or maybe they don't love themselves at all. Maybe they're just empty inside. I don't know, but it made more sense after I heard that quote. It's like, oh, that's how it is. Okay.
Well, on top of that, we love them as well. I mean, as the general public, think of how many times I had to watch the fucking the Bush girls, the two Bush daughters partying and throwing up, and I don't give a shit. I don't care. They're freaking teenage girls. That's what teenage girls do. Oh, but it's the Bush girls. They're out of control. They're wild. I don't care. But because they are, you know, part of a rich family that happens to be in power, I'm supposed to give a shit. I don't care what, you know, what the Obama girls do. I really don't care. If they help the country, awesome.
So you don't care about the Kardashians? What?
Oh my God, you know, I have my table right here, my Kim Kardashian ass table, off to the side here. Caitlyn, I kind of followed for a second, just to see what bizarro world she was in, just to see. I don't really understand Caitlyn being conservative and anti-gay, given the fact that she's transgender. And I'm like,
because money exceeds all. It doesn't matter if you're transgender or gay or black or whatever. As long as you're rich, that's the important thing, right?
Like, you know, sorry to be rude, crude, but I have a man's dick in my mouth, and I'm saying, I hate gay people. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, you know, I mean, come on. It makes no damn sense. And we've had a couple of those damn politicians. Fuck the gays. Oh, weren't you down in a freaking, metro bathroom having sex with some dude in a stall?
Dude, that's what I said about Jim Justice. He goes around, my governor goes around saying, I don't want to think for myself. I don't want to think for myself. I'm like, mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going around saying, I'm not gay, I'm not gay, I'm not gay, I got a feeling you're kind of gay,
Well,
Yeah, back in the psychology classes, they called it reaction formation.
Yeah.
It's kind of methinks thou dost protest it too much.
Right.
It's kind of what it translates to.
Well, that's kind of the for manic depressive guys. You push my buttons and then tell me to calm down. I'm like, I am calm. Yeah, that's a perfect freaking trap. Yeah, she's right. The protesting too much. But I did not have sex with that woman, but I let her suck my dick. The fuck. I mean,
It's like, yeah, you had sex with that woman. I'm pretty sure.
and do I care? Do I really, really care? No. You had to make it part of the damn conversation. Oh, to get off the topic of that. Does anybody know this guy Bob Corker? I think he's from Alabama.
I've heard of him.
He's leaving the Republican Party. He's not. I mean, he's retiring, and there's going to be a runoff election apparently. So that's a potential seat. That's a potential seat for the Democrats, or maybe the Greens in Alabama. By the way, I got 10 new Twitter followers just by asking New York City Greens, about trying to get the Green Party in my county. Nobody answered me, but I had 10 people follow me from the Green Party. So I'm going to try to. I don't know what they're really going to do. I'm going to. There's one guy that is the comptroller, not of my county, but of the county next door. I'm going to reach out and see if he'd be willing to do an interview. And if you guys, want to put in interview questions, because New York City or New York, Long Island, New York, Long Island politics is dirty and corrupted more than anything that I could possibly imagine, except for maybe West Virginia and Detroit
And New Jersey.
and New Jersey. Okay, well, it's just as corrupt as every place else, I guess. But there's a lot of questions I would have for him, because there's a lot of bullshit shenanigans going on, and the Democratic candidate for comptroller of Nassau County is spending $400,000, I think, on an ad campaign. Why? And this is someone who is going to be in control of Nassau County's money, which I think is friggin' awesome, actually. I gotta see the exact amount actually before I.
And you know what? That's another thing that I like about this Elliot Print that's coming on tomorrow, is that he wants to do he wants to reform elections to where it's publicly funded. So, I mean, he sees the problems, and so far, I mean, it was like an hour and a half or more that he had a Q&A on Facebook, and I loved all of his ideas except for that tax cuts thing. I'm like, dude, you're so progressive. What the hell is this? I mean, it just seems like such a lazy shortcut,
Yeah, well.
Be sure to confirm with them earlier in the day.
Oh, for sure, because that's what happened last time. But yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there tomorrow. I gotta figure out what time. I'm probably gonna email him as soon as I get off of here, to make sure that he's gonna be on here at a certain time. But yeah, anybody that wants to join in and ask questions, you're more than welcome. I'm probably just gonna do the Google Hangouts. That way I don't have to bother Ebon, to set it up and all that. But yeah, I'm really excited because he has great ideas. I mean, he was running as a social democrat, but now he switched to the Mountain Party, which is our version of the Green Party. So he's definitely on board for the Green New Deal. He wants to leave everything, fossil fuels in the earth, which is what I'm for. I don't want to see any more dead miners or sick miners. That's just no more miners. What the hell is the point of that? So, at least for coal. So yeah, I mean he's smart and compassionate, which is
I actually have a couple more questions that just came in my head.
Good.
What does he feel is the correlation between fracking and weather events? Like, does he really think that fracking causes earthquakes? I'm just curious to know if he has an opinion on that. As far as the fundraising, it always raises red flags when people bring up fundraising, because that's fine. Public money. What do you mean by public money? How could corporations not get their hands in it, given Citizens United and given, I mean, corporations are treated more as humans than I am, because I can't help someone fundraise because I'm a federal employee. Yet a friggin' corporation can pour money into. So I'd like to know a little bit more of his fundraising plan and what he means by public money, and how he could keep corporate money out of the election stream, or however you want to put it. That if he can do that, awesome. Because I think the amount of money that we spend on campaigns is obscene.
$1 billion. It was what was it? Almost $1 billion that Hillary Clinton raised. I mean, that's ridiculous and insane. $1 billion for one jackass of a woman to fail at winning an election. $1 billion.
1.2.
Oh God, that's even worse. It was over $1 billion. Oh
1.2.
You look at freaking John Ossoff, the amount of freaking money that he spent.
Oh, John Off. Oh God, he belongs at Weenie Hut Juniors. That's how I feel about it. That's what he is. He's a weenie. I mean, he had no message. He was like Nancy Pelosi in male form. It was like, what is it that I'm supposed to believe? Let me just, I believe in values. I mean, that's exactly what he did. He had no message whatsoever. He was hired to fail.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So this lady, I was wrong with the $175,000 in ad money, like right now, so far, for comptroller of Nassau County. That's insane. It really is insane.
I mean, why is it so hard? I mean, I know why, but it should be that every candidate gets a certain amount of airtime. The government will pay for that ad, and it's subsidized because everybody that's running, wants to get that airtime. So, yeah, I mean, why is it so freaking hard? Why can't we? I mean, like election reform, the way that we spend money on elections, that should be our focus point. I mean, I understand the push for single payer. I understand the push for all this stuff. I mean, it's important. But if we don't fix our election system, it's just going to keep happening. Super delegates, the way that it's set up that we can't have third party, these issues are going to keep happening every single.
How you doing, Eric?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey, Eric, thanks for stopping by.
Doing pretty good.
We were all hoping you'd show up.
Thanks.
We love you, Eric.
Love you too. Love all of you.
And we love you back.
Aw, thanks. Greatly appreciate it.
So what is the limit to the, I forget, limit to the number of people on here? Is it 10 or 25? And I think it's one or the other.
I'm not sure. If anybody notices any kind of lag or choppiness in the sound in chat, like Jenny Lynn, if you're still there, just let us know. So, yeah, we'll know for the future.
25. It's looking really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it's at least, I think I know one of the places I was checking it was 10, but we only had 8, so I knew Eric could squeeze in there. But I wasn't sure if this was the 8, the 10 one, or the 25 one. They all had different, some it could only be 4, some, but I know this was at least 10.
So, I mean, this is what I was thinking, because I was watching Let the Madness Begin earlier, and they were talking about some corruption in the system. And I'm like, oh, yeah, woo, big news story. You know, oh, our government's fucked up again, you know, right? So it's like, I mean, I feel like it's like the same story. It's like, oh, hey, they're corrupt. Okay, I get it. But, you know, where do we go moving forward? What's the next step? I mean, I know this is all I know to do is just to get out there and tell more people, because it just seems like so many people are under that spell of mainstream media. So, I mean, but what else can I do? Because I'm sitting here and I'm talking, but I want to do action, you know? Like, I don't want to just sit here and talk to people. I want to be able to go out and do something. So it's like, what do we do? I mean, I feel kind of useless in that situation.
You do one of two things. You either run, which I don't think you're willing or ready to do yet, or you talk to as many people as you can and try to convince them to run for a local public office, even if it's for a friggin' PTA, even if it's for a school board, even if it's for whatever. What sucks?
Just that Troxney couldn't get his camera to work.
Oh yeah, I know. But I mean, that's part of what you can do. Personally, I'd like to do that, but I can't. As I continually say, what I do is I get involved in my union. I do research. I do whatever I can. I help people as I can. I get on here and I cheer people up, hopefully, with my with my silly humor. You do it one person at a time. You make people smile. You make people laugh. I mean, that's kind of what you help your kids with your homework. And I know it sounds small, but it's not.
It really isn't. And that's what, Michael Stapleton, he pointed this out, because I asked this question in that live stream, and he said, teach your kids. And I mean, that's how we've gone so far with racism, right? I mean, that's how we've gotten rid of a lot of racism, is just teaching our kids better. So, I mean, if we teach our kids about the failures of capitalism, the failures of our mainstream media, I mean, it will take longer, but I mean, it's better than no progress whatsoever. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to change, as many minds as I can. But I mean, I'm just going to, teach my kids better.
Reduce the amount of TV that they watch. Get them outside or whatever. One of the things that I wanted to mention in my interview is that I see it a lot. With you, Bella, and a few other. Being a single mom is an amazing thing. It really is. So, and I applaud you guys. So, for you to say, oh my God, what can I do? I mean, come on. You're doing it. You're doing it. And to want to do more, I'm more than willing to help you out, with YouTube stuff or whatever. And if I can't imagine, because I'm not a parent, I can't imagine how much you do already. But if you actually want to run, that would be insane and amazing.
I mean, that's the thing, Dave. I mean, you can't imagine, because here's the thing. I mean, you don't have kids, but you know what it's like to care about people. And you care about people like you would as if you would have had kids. I mean, and it's the same thing. I mean, that's how I feel about you guys. I mean, I want the best for y'all. That's what I want for my kids. So, I can't put you in a corner, but I mean, I love you guys.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. I can walk away from this chat at any moment. You can't walk away from your kids. There is a difference.
Man, I don't know. I've seen some people do it, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So all right. I'm gonna fall asleep again.
Go get some sleep.
You guys are machines. Good God. Christ's sake.
There's a bottomless pit of rage that I have for our government and the corruption, and that's what keeps me awake all the time.
Here's for your bottomless pit of rage. Here you go.
Aww, kitty cat.
I have a soft spot for kitties.
Me too.
Kitty Cam.
I have a soft spot for animals anyway.
Animals are just us without the game plan,
So, what you guys were saying about airtime?
What was the question again?
Dave was talking about airtime for the parties. Who was talking about airtime on TV, broadcasting, whatever?
Cutting down TV watching.
No, I thought you meant advertising.
Yeah, ad time, yeah.
For smaller parties, right?
Yeah, that's the big problem.
Right.
Yeah. So I wanted to tell you about what happened here. Base TV and radio. Each party is given an amount of money they're allowed, and that's the only money they're allowed to use for TV and radio advertising. So they can't spend any more than that, but they're given that money too, so if they don't need to raise it themselves.
Is everybody given the same amount? Every party given the same amount?
No, and that's what I'm about to show you. Is this the right?
Could also mention that it's illegal here to show political commercials on TV.
Really?
At any time.
Really? That's fascinating. How does that work? I mean, do they just rely on radio or what?
Internet radio and, handing out flyers and stuff. But they also broadcast, discussions and such.
Yeah. So they gave away a total of $4 million, and the top two parties get $1 million and a bit each, and the smaller parties get like this. So we're there. And TV ads and stuff are really expensive. Like, you'd use that money so quickly if you did that.
So how is that based on? Is it based on like how many people are in your party, or how do they divvy it up?
It's based on the amount of votes they have had in previous elections.
Yeah, that's just king making. In all honesty.
So you see, they don't really have a chance to get heard on TV, but they can also use they can also use this money for digital advertising, and so I said they aren't allowed to pay for TV ads using any other money but this money. So it's sort of a backstop in that way, that they can't spend more than $1 million. But on digital advertising, like on social media or on the internet or something, they can spend more than that. They can spend whatever they like on that.
Can you still raise money individually, or is it just that's just it?
You can for digital advertising and like signs and billboards and things like that, but for TV and radio, you must use this money.
I mean, that it helps. It does. I see where there's flaws in it, but I mean, coming from America and the situation we're in, I mean, that's like, oh my gosh, I'd kill for that right now, you know?
Right, it's better than unlimited, depending on how much money you have coming in from wherever, dark money, everything else. But it's still kind of unfair because the biggest, most corporate parties and that still get the most.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not one to fight for scraps, so it's like, that's good, but I still want better than that. We deserve better than that. All of us do.
Yep. And the parties that need it most are the ones that are getting the least. They're the ones who need to get their word out more, that they even exist.
Exactly.
So
People don't know who the small parties are. They didn't know we existed.
Yeah, here in the United States, we're definitely a two-party system, and this two-party system looks out for each other. And that's why I try to say Republicans and Democrats are the enemy. And so the people must unite to take down that monolith. Nothing will ever change. Look at the elections being changed for this last election, where you needed to have 15%, I believe, in order to even get on television to be in the debates.
Yes,
Every single time you have a chance of getting any other party, any promotion at all, the Democrats and the Republicans will bring them down.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, okay. Where I worked in medical field, I equate a lot of things to like health and the human body. And that's why I think like this corruption thing that we have, and I mean, it doesn't matter if it's, in New Zealand or wherever it is. I mean, it's like a gangrenous foot, it's like, if you leave it alone, it sucks to have to amputate it, right? I mean, it's not fun. It's not easy. You're going to have problems, but if you leave it there, it's going to corrupt the rest of your body. You're going to become septic and you're going to die. And that's where we're at with our political system. I mean, worldwide. I mean, we need to cut off the corruption. And we can't when we have two parties or two parties that are propped up. It's just, we got to get rid of all of it.
They prop up each other. The whole beast needs to come down. And the only way that beast will ever come down is if you knock out one leg and then you knock out the other. If you decide you're going to prop up one of these two parties, you just defeated yourself. There is no other option. They both need to come down.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I call it a gangrenous foot, because I mean, this is what we have two parties, right? Left and a right leg. I mean, what is the purpose of that? To get the body moving. You know, that's the purpose of our legs, is to keep us moving in the right direction. You know, we are the heart, we are the mind. You know, these parties that we have, those are just the legs. You know, that's the legs that keep us going forward. So, yeah, and when there's corruption in one, it can corrupt the whole entire system. It can corrupt the right leg. It's gonna kill the heart and the mind. So, you know, you have to get that septic, toxic, you know, gangrenous thing out of your system, because it's going to end up, you know, you think the hole's on the other end of your boat, it's still the same boat. You know, you're still in the same boat. So, you know, we got to fix it. We got to get it out.
I'm going to quote Debbie one more time on her pasta video that was brought down. You have one that's going to beat you and tells you that they're going to beat you. Then you have the other one that's going to beat you and then going to bring you flowers and say, I'm never going to beat you again. They are both the enemy. Neither one of them is any good, and the whole beast needs to come down.
And I wonder, because I mean, I've been through a relationship like that, and I don't know if that makes me more aware of what these politicians are doing. But it just seems so obvious. I'm just like, these are abuser tactics to scare you and to keep you afraid and to keep you economically dependent on them. And I mean, these are all telltale signs, and you can see this with politicians or whoever. I mean, it's the same game plan. Use the kids against you. You know, you don't want to hurt them, right? I mean, that's what they do. I mean, you'll see this in political ads. They'll bring kids out to tell. You'll see it on Jimmy Kimmel and, you know, places like that, or even political ads, that they'll have kids deliver the message, or they'll scare you with like the bathroom bill. You know, they'll say, well, you don't want to send your kid into a bathroom with one of those transgendered people. You know, I mean, they use that. I mean, these are all telltale abuser tactics, and it's the same thing with politicians. But, you know, it's like 1 in 4 people, I think, that's been through an abusive relationship. So I think more people would be, aware of like what is happening, but it's just like we've just tuned out. It's just easier to be with that abusive asshole than it is to think about, you know, if you think that the next person that you're going to date is going to be another abusive asshole, you'll just stick with the one that you already know. So, I mean, I think that's where we are with the political system.
And if I can quote her one more time, and this is her words, this is Debbie's words. She said she's worked with abused women for quite a big portion of her life. I believe she's a nurse. And as somebody with that experience, she said, it is much easier to talk to an abused woman about the abuser that's bringing her the flowers than it is to tell either one of these people on either sides what's really going on here with these two political parties and how corrupt they are. Everybody wants to prop up their side. Stop picking sides.
And the thing
Pick
is,
your
like,
own side.
The abused woman or man knows that they are being abused. You know, that's the thing. She's there talking to them because they know they're in a bad situation. They know they're being abused. These people that are Democrats and Republicans, they don't know. You know, they think they're on the right side. They think that they're on the best side possible. That's why it's so hard to get through to them, because they don't even know that they're being abused yet.
Exactly.
A lot of times.
Both sides are being fed the information that one of the reasons why they're splitting everybody up on Twitter and making the Republicans go to Gap. One of the reasons why they're splitting everybody up is because both sides are being fed that proof that their side is right. Both of them are. They're all being played. But that's okay. Go ahead and just bash on Trump. He's just a figurehead anyway.
Hey, Stevie, I just wanted to remind you, it's 6:20, so I don't know if you have to go and, you know, wake your kids up or whatever.
Yeah, I know. 6:30 is my deadline, because my kid is like me. He doesn't do mornings, so it takes me like 30 minutes to wake him up.
I'm gonna go fly. You know, I waited as long as I could. Whatever news you guys got, I can wake up and see it. But you know,
no problem. I'm thinking that I'll try to schedule something for everybody to be there so we can all discuss directions we're going in, stuff we don't want to really discuss on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably it's a good time to call it. I'm gonna, probably just do a few things before I can wake him up. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and end it now. Unless anybody else has anything else they want to add in, because I got 10 minutes before I absolutely have
I
to
love
wake
you
him up.
guys.
Love everybody.
All right, love you. Thank everybody. Big thanks to everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate y'all chiming in. I love the conversation. So.
Me too.
You know we love you, Redneck.
I love you guys too. You're awesome. Your family.
Thanks. Same here.
You too, Stevie.
All right. Good night. Good morning,
Good night,
everybody.
Good
good night, and good morning.
Thank you.
Love you all. Take care.
See you in
Have a great
another
day.
4 hours. Godspeed.